Hello YouTube, it's your boy the Crazy Trader, and I'm here again with your favorite stock review. Hey guys, if you haven't watched my 5 high growth stocks that I spoke about in my previous videos, go back and watch all the 5 high growth stocks, okay? And then watch the price that I spoke at them, and then watch the price that they are now. So some of them are doing really good, so if you got into it, good for you. If you haven't, some of them are still at a very decent price, and we are looking at a long-term value here, 5 to 10 years long-term value. These stocks are basically meant for millennials and then Generation Z people, not for baby boomers. Like I said, they've already figured their lives out. We are still figuring what we are supposed to do. So these are great stocks, so go look into them. Anyways, I don't want to waste too much of your time, so today I'll delve into one of the old stocks that I speak about, but I haven't spoken about in a while. This is one of my favorite stocks. You guys know, after IVR, this is one of my favorite stocks because it's also a real estate investment trust. Okay, today I did pretty good. The market did pretty good, so today it was a good, range. I keep going up and down, but I know it's gonna rip one of these days, so I'm really cool with it. So the stock that I'm going to talk about is MFA, ticker symbol MFA. So Mfa Financial, okay, it's also a REIT. We've spoken about this before. I think the last time that we spoke about this, it was around 3 something, 360, 350. I don't remember, but this guy has done well in the past 1 year. Okay, in the past 1 year, MFA has done 61 or 62%, 61.97%. That's 62%. Okay, so back in even in October, it was $2.83. So it's done really good in the past 1 year. So let's look at. I have how many shares? 393 shares of MFA, and my total return is 32%, which is really good. 32% is really good on any stock. The market cap is 2.2 billion, which is pretty substantial for that sector. The dividend yield is 6.55. I think it's a little bit more than 6.55. I'll take you to the real dividend yield pretty soon. Analyst rating is 50% buy and 50% hold. I have done this over and over again, but I just want to show you just a quick one to those who are new to the page and to those who are still considering whether they are supposed to invest into this. In the last quarter, that was in July 30th, I received $38 in dividends, and I reinvested it. The drip is always taking effect on this page, so my money is making money for me. I don't have to. They say you always have to find ways to make money when you're sleeping, otherwise you're gonna stay broke forever. Okay, so MFA, let's dig a little bit into MFA. I always have a few things that I look at when I go into reviewing stocks. So let's look at MFA, and the first thing we are going to look at is the institutional ownership. My sweet spot again, 50 plus 1, so 51% is my sweet spot. MFA 62%, 62.7%. Let's run it up to 63% institutional ownership, which is really good for me. I like it. It's a high institutional ownership. I think the most being held is Starwood Capital. Starwood Capital didn't change anything in the last quarter, so they didn't change anything. They still held 42 million shares. Vanguard they sold 2 million shares in the last quarter. BlackRock sold 4 million shares. That's 10% of their portfolio. The FMR LLC added 2 million. That's 11% of their portfolio. So you can see that some people are adding and some people are selling. These people added 1.8 million shares. That's 40% of their portfolio. Arrow Street Capital. So there are people who are adding and there are some people who are selling. Royal Bank of Canada. This is very impressive. They added 851% in the last quarter. That's 3.3 million shares in the last quarter. That's also a very substantial amount of shares to add in the last quarter. Okay, so people are adding, people are selling, but in the last quarter was a pretty decent quarter, and there's a lot of people holding the shares. There's a lot of institutions holding the shares, and they are holding large amounts of it. If you can see, 42 million, 41 million, 40 million, 25 million. These are very large amounts of the shares, so I kind of like it. 62%, I love this. This is a sweet spot right here, 62%. And let's go to their dividend yields. Okay, so when the pandemic hit, they didn't do too well when the pandemic hit, but even that, right after the pandemic, these people recovered real fast, because when the pandemic hit, they still pay their 20 cents. That's in March. They still pay their 20 cents per share. Okay, 20 pence per share in dividends. And then after that, I think they ceased paying dividends for, I think, the next quarter. And then the third quarter, they paid 5 cents per share, and then they raised it to 75 cents per share. And then in this last quarter, that was in June 30th, they raised their dividend again to 10 cents per share. and then they maintain the 10 cents per share. So their dividend yield is 8.62, 8.6 dividend yield. Great dividend yield in a year, if you ask me. 8.62, great dividend yield, if you ask me, honestly. For you make 40 cents every year on every stock that you have. 40 cents. Okay, so do the math. If you have, let's say, a thousand shares, so you're going to multiply the 1,000 by the 40, okay, by the 40 cents per share, and then you're going to see how much you're going to have in a year. So it makes pretty decent sense. These are yields, or these are returns that you never get if you are saving your money in a bank. Because if you're saving your money in a bank, I save my money in Bank of America, they give me about 0.003 percent, something like that. I mean, so it doesn't really make sense. This should be a savings account, and there's a potential that the stock will really go high too, so because this stock is almost at an all-time low as of now. They were at $7 or $8 before the pandemic hit, so they are still pretty low or pretty cheap. And with time that goes on, all that is going to happen is they are going to invest well, they're going to invest smart, and then they are going to keep increasing their dividend yields. I'm hoping that their dividend will go from the 10 to 20, because they were paying 20 before the pandemic hit, and this is halfway through it. Okay, so it also makes really good sense. Okay, so this article right here is on Yahoo Finance. You can just check it out. This is just a recent article that was posted on Wednesday. That's today. Okay, Wednesday, September 15th. Okay, September 15th, today, 6 a.m. in the morning. Mfa Financial announces dividend of 10 cents per share. So they announced for this next quarter, they already announced their dividend. So they are maintaining the 10 cents per share. Okay. Mfa Financial announced today that its board of directors declared a regular cash dividend for the third quarter of 2021 of 10 cents per share of common stock. The dividend will be paid on October 29th, 2021 to common stockholders of record on September 30th, 2021. So they are still maintaining their dividends of 10 cents per share, okay, which really makes sense, because look at this. The share price is $4.60, okay, $4.60, and they are making 10 cents per share off every share that you are paying. So it's a really reasonable stock. It's a really reasonable dividend. IVR, which is one of my favorite stock, is paying, I think, 9 cents per share. I'm hoping that they will increase their dividends one of these days, in this quarter or in the next quarter. Okay, these are one of my two of my favorite plays, IVR and MFA. So I'm going to hold these stocks for a very long time. Okay, so these are just for educational purposes. Like I always say, this is just for educational and information purposes. If you buy the stock, you buy that on your own risk. Okay, so if you are looking forward to investing in a real estate, investment trusts, these are some of the options that are out there. MFA, IVR, there are a lot more options that are out there, but these are some of my favorite stocks that I play with. And if you are in here, these are some of the great stocks that we've always played with. So far, 32%. I mean, I can't make this up. I've already made $400 on this. I didn't make this up. 32% is a really good yield. Plus, it's just not the 32% upside of the growth of the stock. I'm making dividends. I wish I could show you the dividends that I'm making. I know I can, but it's going to make this video long. But let's see if I can show you the dividends that I'm making, because I'm making a lot of dividends on here. I made 38, I made 28 on here. I mean, it's a lot. Honestly, it is a lot of dividends. Okay, so I'm not worried about it, and I'm not worried about the share price too, because the share price is fluctuating right now up and down. But it came all the way from 7, okay? It came all the way from 7 to all the way to like $2 before some of us got into it. And now it's moving from all the way from 2 and it's going a little higher. And we are still in it, and we are hoping that we stay in it for a while. Anyways, not to waste too much of your time, like I always say, you always got to risk it to get the biscuit. Scared money don't make no money. I'm out of your hair. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Peace.